So welcome to you all, the Plastic Ocean September team, heading off. I think it's kind of what, 2-3 weeks now. So all very exciting. Now, the purpose of this meeting and recording is to get you organized. It's to get you organized and, more importantly, to get your expectations aligned. So you know what is expected of you, what we are going to deliver for you. So there are no surprises, because as we all know, no one likes surprises. So I am going to be running through, just so you brace yourself. It's probably going to take about 20 minutes. Your itinerary, the order of events, your arrival at the airport, your money, extra costs, budgeting, phones, SIM cards, Wi-Fi, kit list, personal admin, and health and safety. Okay, so we're going to run through all that. Now, please, 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 at any moment, I will carry on rambling unless one of you sticks your hand up or just puts your speaker on and shouts and asks a question. Okay, so do not be shy at this point. I know, you know, it can be a bit embarrassing, but the aim is that I want to get you organized. So actually, we're going to start off with your flights and the airport. Okay, all of you, before you go, I will send you an email probably 2 or 3 days before you go, with who's on what flight and who's going to meet you where, which terminal. If one of you wants to set up a WhatsApp group before you go, then that is wonderful. Everyone loves that. We don't want to set that up for you because we don't want to be on your chat, because it's happened before. You then use this chat for the next 6 weeks and we're getting alerted all through the night and day that you're meeting at this place and meeting there. So we don't want to be on it. So we can't be the administrators, therefore. So it needs one of you to set it up. When you get to the airport, you're going to check yourselves in individually and just go through to the other side. And in this email, when I've worked out which terminal you're all in, I will then say, look, here's the best coffee shop, go there, and then you'll all kind of identify. And embarrassing, it's really embarrassing. It's like the first day of school. You'll say, are you going on the leave trip? Yes. And anyway, and that's how you kickstart the adventure. When you get to Costa Rica, you are all going to be picked up, regardless of what flight you're on, if you're flying on your own or with a group, okay? That is a dead cert. So when you get to Costa Rica and you come out of arrivals, okay, it is quite busy, but you look for a sign saying the Leap or Jaquera. And if it's not there, be patient. Okay, do not go and hide in a cafe or anywhere, because they won't be able to find you. Just stay there, you know, just don't go wandering off. They will turn up. Okay, you know, invariably it's when you land, it's usually kind of 3 o'clock in our morning. So you just there's no point in calling. I will give you all the right numbers. Be patient. They always turn up. And the person turning up is the lovely taxi man who's done this a squillion times from the Rosa of America Hotel, which is where we have booked you all in for the first night. Okay, so that is your first night meeting point. There you will meet the leaders. That's the meet and greet. Supper or some meal will be available to you. But the key is you're all going to be slightly discombobulated with the jet lag. Get your head down and get some sleep. Okay, and the next morning, you're up really early because it's really noisy there. Trust me, what I can remember pre-COVID, there's tropical birds everywhere. So you are woken up really, really early. So if you're a really light sleeper, take earplugs. In fact, definitely take earplugs. They are the best thing in the world. You'll need them throughout your entire journey. Okay, so your itinerary starts the following day. You've got several phases. Your first 2 weeks are going to be based in Santa Teresa. Then you're going to go to the Turtle Sanctuary at Serenas. Then you go back to Santa Teresa. They're only 45 minutes away to complete your surfing, your hiking, your Plastic Oceans projects. Then you go up to Monteverde to the Cloud Forest for your adventure. That's where you go zip wiring, bungee jumping, all those insane things. That's there. And then you end with a more peaceful phase at Samara Beach. And Samara is split into two. The first part, you get split into two little groups. You've got half of you that are kind of hanging out at the beach, doing kind of yoga, a bit of extra surfing if you want. And the other half are at Asvo, which is the rough and wild turtle sanctuary, which is really busy at the moment. So that is the Robinson Crusoe moment, but I'm going to go through each phase in detail. So that is your order of events. We really, every group has a slightly different order. And when we've looked back last year on what was the perfect order, this pretty much was it. So we really hope you like the pace of this journey. You've got the first week is all about meeting, learning to surf, getting settled in. The second week you get into your projects. Then you go to Serenas, which is so beautiful for the turtles. Back to Santa Teresa to finish mountains, then back to the beach. So you've got the adventure, the Spanish, and the projects all interwoven. So it's pretty good. It's a good itinerary. So starting off with Santa Teresa, okay, you're going to be living at Santa Teresa. To put it, to describe it, the best way to describe it is it's the Ibiza of Costa Rica, okay? It is the surfing, think surfing, think yoga, think sushis, think just healthy living, glamorous shops, glamorous people. Actually, and it's very popular to have tattoos. Please don't go and have a tattoo. Everyone is covered in very stylish tattoos. It is one of those places. Okay, it's really, really long. You'll think when you arrive, when you come from San Jose down, catch the ferry over, and you suddenly think, oh my God, the road becomes really dusty, full of potholes. And you think, oh my God, we're in the Wild West here. This doesn't look anything special. And it isn't really, it's just a road with a dusty long road, goes for about 1 kilometer. That is the town with a few restaurants here and houses either side tucked away. So it takes a while for you to start exploring, to seeing what those houses are, groovy restaurants, groovy shops, groovy bars, and you kind of poke around. So the first week is all, you'll love the exploring. First week, you're going to be surfing. And the purpose of the surfing is, this is one of the main surfing destinations in the world. Okay, it is amazing. But the water there is got huge rip tides. It's got a lot of threats. So it's not one of those beaches where you just go swimming. You have to kind of really learn what the waves and the rips are telling you. So that's the purpose of the surfing, is that they teach you about the beach management and safety. A hike in every week when you're at Santa Teresa, exploring different parts of the jungle, because the jungle comes right up to the beach, the rivers, everything, which is amazing, and the volunteering. And the volunteering is all falls under our Plastic Ocean umbrella. And there are various little projects which you will get involved in. The aim is that by the end of the 6 weeks, you see what the threat of the plastic problem in the Pacific is. It is shocking. Okay, it's relentless. Every day, plastic, from microplastics to, I'm not joking, big plastic bathtubs and washing machines get deposited on these glorious beaches. We have hooked up with loads of community projects on this peninsula who are dedicated to removing this plastic, of which you will be doing, literally simply off the beaches, and then doing something creative with it. Half of it gets taken to the recycling center, which then gets taken to America, which then gets converted into plastic thread, groovy clothes, and money comes back. But the other half gets converted into lifeguard towers. Plastic bricks are being made out of it. Plastic, the bottle tops are being melted down and created into lampshades and really groovy things. So you'll see from a kind of top level down the problem, the community, and the solutions that they have invented. And so it's really encouraging. No government is involved. This is just basic, hands-on, local people making a difference to their environment. So you'll see that. So some days you could be picking up the plastic. Some days you'll be going to the recycling centre. Other days you'll be making signs and creating recycling bins on beaches. You'll be going to see how these lifeguard towers are being made, how the lampshades are doing. So every day you will see something else and be part of something else. So it's a very kind of dynamic project, dynamic projects that you will become involved in. At the same time, you'll see what effect all this plastic has on the environment, and especially on the wildlife, and especially on the turtles, which you are landing peak breeding season. So you're going to be right in the thick of it, and you will see the damage that the plastic does to these turtles and to their breeding sites. So that is really, really critical. Occasionally you see turtles that are coming up which are completely deformed because they've got a, like a coat, those wires or fishing nets stuck around them. It's really, really sad. But the exciting thing is, hopefully you will see big mummy turtles coming up and laying their eggs. You will see the hatchlings being born and help them navigate back to the sea, building the nests, learning about it. And that's why going to Serenus first before ASVO is really good, because Serenus is a private reserve with private money, and and the dedication towards turtle conservation, whereas ASVO is government run. So you'll see both ends of the spectrum. So that's first 2 weeks, Santa Teresa. Your accommodation there, I know we're going to come back to the accommodation. Then you go to Serenus. Now, Serenus, again, is the private reserve. That is, it's beautiful, okay? It really is one of my favorite places on this, in this world. Now, the accommodation which there's two levels of accommodation, but I think you're going to be in the basic accommodation at the bottom, so in bunk beds, but it's super stylish, basic, but stylish, delicious food, 10 minutes down to the beach, a beach where you don't see a single soul. Okay, so it is gorgeous. But Serenus is it's more than just turtle conservation. It's about permaculture. It's about creating sustainable living and creating an environment for the whole community to basically live off. So you'll see all aspects of that, which is really interesting. Then you're back to Santa Teresa. Then you go to Monteverde. Okay, Monteverde. Now this is your adventure phase. Okay, full on adventure. You're going to be in the cloud forest. It's jumpers on. It's chilly up there, but it's quite a kind of welcome relief after the humidity of the coast. Here, every morning you have an activity planned. Okay, whether it's being the hikes, the hanging bridges tour, that every morning you are organized, and every afternoon is left for you to do all your kind of free activities that you want to do. Not free activities, extra activities you want to do, such as zip wiring, bungee jumping. Some people go horse riding, some people do coffee plantation tours. You don't have to do any of it, but it's all there. Highly recommend you do the zip wire. I would say 25% do the bungee jump, but please make sure that your travel insurance covers the bungee jump. Okay, that is critical. No bungeeing with no insurance. Okay. Then after that, you go to Samara, which is a much smaller version of Santa Teresa. It's smaller, it's cozier, it's just got one beach, the surf is smaller, but a lot of people there, you're going to have a yoga class or two, and the surf classes, it's just one surf class there, but you can hire boards, and then whilst you're not hanging out at the beach over the weekend, you'll be at ASVO, which is a government-run turtle sanctuary, which I'm telling you now is the most basic Robinson Crusoe experience of your journey. Okay, think basic, think smelly and moldy and cold showers, and you're all hands on deck cooking food for everybody, but everyone loves the space, okay, because it is really rough and wild, and you are cut off from the rest of the world, and it feels really exciting. But I'm telling you now, there are no mod cons there, okay? No Wi-Fi, you know, it is, think Robinson Crusoe and your summer place. Okay, so any questions on the different phases? Are you all happy with that? Yeah? Okay. Now I'm just going to run through each phase, describing the accommodation. So to match your expectations. Okay. Santa Teresa. It's about a 10-minute walk from the beach up a steep hill. Okay. That you do get used to. It is exhausting in the first week, but then you'll be fit as a fiddle by the end of it. It is a big camp. It's called Jacara Camp. It's got a little swimming pool. It's got masses. It's probably got 5 or 6 little bungalows now scattered around the garden. I never know which bungalow you're going to be put in. Some are more modern than the others, but inherently, it's just a great vibe. It's a big family vibe. Now, Chris and his wife, Laura, they live there with their gorgeous kids. There's dogs everywhere. You've got Melly and all the team, the main office on site. A big area where you eat, hang out, pizza ovens, So it's got a big community feeling. Now you're going to be a team of, I would say by the time you go, anything between 16 and 18. And there are other volunteers that they take similar groups like the Leap, but from the Netherlands, from Germany, so it's quite international vibe. So you'll all meet each other. It's a big social place, okay? You'll love it. Hot and cold showers, very easy. Serenus, I think you're going to be in the bottom. It never gets sorted until you're there. But again, it's a big wooden, like a ski chalet cabin with bunk beds, you know, down one side, cold showers, and you eat, you know, in the kind of restaurant kind of area, which is about a 10-minute walk away. So it's all very, very nice. Monteverde, you're going to be staying in a cute little hostel, which is right in the center of town. I've stayed there, really nice, basic. I would say the decoration isn't that stylish, but the beds are comfy and there are blankets provided so you don't get chilly. And then Samara, again, you're going to be staying at a hostel, family-run hostel, which is just close to the beach. And then Asvo in the Robinson Crusoe, very basic tin hut. Okay, so you've got a bit of everything there to, you know, to keep you busy. Wi-Fi throughout, yes, in all accommodation, apart from at Asvo, apart from at the 2 turtle sanctuaries. That's where it's going to be really at its weakest. Food. Okay, this is a big one because and this is kind of food, and it will come on to the budgeting. Okay, Costa Rica, let me tell you, is one of the most expensive countries in the world. Okay, I used to say in Central America, but oh no. Okay, and they are really suffering from inflation at the moment. So prices are going up. So you have got to brace yourself and you have got to budget accordingly. When you are in the turtle sanctuaries, 3 meals a day are provided. When you're not in the turtle sanctuaries, only 2 meals a day are provided. Okay, but in each place, there is the opportunity to cook. Now, some groups in the past have done a kind of come dine with us. You go to the supermarket, you get your food, whip up a bowl of pasta, Other groups just go, sod that, and they go straight down into the town and have pizzas, sushi, Yeah, and I've just gone for it. So that there is both extremes. So as a team, I want you to work out you know, just look after each other. What I really would be sad to hear is that those with big budgets are going, hey, we're off down to the George Clooney's favorite sushi bar tonight and blowing $50 when, you know, there's quite a few of you that really can't afford that. And then it really splits up the group because everybody will have different budgets. So it's just being really sensitive to each other and working together. And there are ways around it. Okay, drinks especially. Drinks, you can go and get a cocktail for $10, okay? But then you're going to complain that you spent too much money, you know? So you have got to be mindful when it comes to food and drinking, okay? Please, please be mindful. Extra activities that you can do. Now, in each place, there are extra things you can do. Okay, so when you're at Santa Teresa, one of the big tours that everybody loves to do is the Tortuga Island trip. They love that. And that's $75, okay, extra. I've written all this down in a thing which I've uploaded to your MyLeap, so you don't need to write this down, but that's $75. When you're on Monteverde, a bungee jump is $80. Zip wiring is $65. When you're at Samara, you can rent surfboards for about $20. You could go on these snorkel outings for $20, but it can all add up. So I just want you to have a read of the document that I've uploaded into your MyLeap. And before you go, work out which big ticket items do you want to do and which do you not, and how much do you really want to budget. Most people, on average, spend about an extra £200 a week, which that's an average, including their extra, the extra activities. But of course, that all depends on where you're going to eat and where you're going to drink. Okay, that in Santa Teresa, because that can make or break your budgeting. Okay, now I'm beginning to sound like a kind of a nagging old lady. Okay, so be mindful. Okay, and look after each other. Be respectful to each other when it comes to budgeting. Money. Okay, while we're on this case in point, Revolut or Starling. Okay, those are the two best bank cards to take out, which don't charge you every time you want to get money out. Okay, the Monzo card, for some weird reason, doesn't work very well in Costa Rica. It works everywhere else in the world and in Central America, but in Costa Rica, they don't particularly like it. Okay, so I would definitely take out a Revolut or a Starling and one other card, because it's amazing how many people do get their wallets nicked or leave it in the cash point machine, and the post to Costa Rica is non-existent. So you just want to have a backup card locked up back at base, okay, for should that happen. Okay, so just take out your normal debit card as well. Okay, there are ATMs all over Costa Rica. So don't try and get the local currency out here. Get it when you're there. I would take $100 US cash on you just in case. Okay, that's just like kind of backup money. Should something happen at the airport, should, that you know, because they do accept US dollars throughout Costa Rica, but they're cunning. And they always give you change in the local currency. So then you get really confused. Have you been ripped off or not? So, you know, I always think best to go pay for everything in local currency. Okay. Phones. Please take 2 telephones. Take your all swinging and dancing telephone, which has got everything on it, but take an old phone, which you've got knocking around in the kitchen drawer, just in case you drop or lose your main phone. Because again, you cannot buy phones out there. Okay, you can, but they're hugely expensive. So you just don't want to be caught out. Okay, SIM cards, don't worry about it. Just make sure your phone can get a local SIM card or use your backup phone. It doesn't matter, because you'll get a SIM card within the first couple of days. Okay, but you don't need to get a SIM card because there is Wi-Fi pretty much everywhere, all the restaurants, all the accommodation, apart from the 2 turtle sanctuaries. And when we're at the 2 turtle sanctuaries, we really do encourage everybody to put their phones down, just to be more mindful. Okay, is that good? Happy so far? Okay, I know it's a long list, isn't it? Okay, nearly there, nearly there. Kit list. Look in your MyLeap at your kit list. Okay, and if you're anything like me that's read all these stories, and my son who got his bags never turned up, okay, I'm going to send you a top tip for your bag. Okay, I want you to put all your really essential things, especially if you've got any weird medication, change your clothes, you know, bikini, your trunks or something for the first few days in your day sack on the aeroplane. Okay, because yes, there is chaos at the airports at the moment with luggage. And also I'm going to send you a top tip of these Apple tags that you can, you know, put on your bags so that you can find them at any time. Less is more. You can wash your clothes. Okay, usually you go to a laundrette and you can either wash it yourself in the shower and just sling it on a line, or go to a laundrette, and it usually costs anything between $10 and $15 to do a huge load. So that's easy. Personal admin, the health form, really important. Do fill it in and let us know everything. Okay, after 20 years of doing this, you can't surprise us. You know, we think we've seen it all, and we need to know everything. Okay, the weirdest nut allergies, the weirdest allergies to anything, mental health issues, heart problems, diabetes, you name it, tell us. It's not that we are being nosy or are going to say you can't go. It's just so that we can discuss with our guides and you before you go how best to look after you, and if there's anything we need to be more aware of. Okay, health and safety. Okay, the main thing that most people suffer from in week 1 is dehydration. Okay, it is very hot and very humid, and unlike your normal summer holidays, you're actually working hard in the midday sun. I mean, it's bonkers really, but you are. So you've really got to be mindful of your water intake, your electrolytes, things like, and be aware of headaches, feeling a bit fluey. Now, in the past, everyone said, oh God, I feel like I've got COVID. You probably haven't, even though it's really good to take some of those negative tests if you want. But you can get everything like that out there. But it's, you know, that is one of the dehydration is dangerous. So you've got to be on it. Do not get dehydrated. Cuts, things like that, they too are, you've got to keep an eye on. Mosquito bites, insect bites, because if they get infected in the tropics, they don't heal. So you've just got to, you know, get them clean, go to the doctor, but show the guides every step of the way anything kind of weird that might be growing on your skin. Okay, again, we've seen it all. When it comes to safety, okay, I now touched on the last group, one of the, not the last, but anyway, what we really need is you're going out on a volunteering experience with guys. This is not a school experience, okay? You're not locked in at night. There's no teachers breathing down your neck. There's nothing like that. But to have this big freedom, go out, just like, all we want is you to turn up on time and really give it your all for the volunteer programs, the volunteer projects. You know, show everybody the respect. They're giving up their time, the Spanish lessons. Oh, I didn't mention Spanish lessons. You know, they're all there to give you a really good time. What they really don't want is hungover people, not interested every morning. It really brings morale down. And then people kind of lose interest. And then those that do care about the projects, they then get a rough deal. And morale in the whole team very quickly does a downward spiral. I really don't want to hear that is happening. Okay, it's September. It's kind of got, you know, lots of treats for you, which I haven't mentioned, which just get thrown into the adventure, you know, just as treats to, you know, to spoil you and to make this a wonderful experience. But it needs you guys to treat it with respect and to make the most of it. Okay, really go for it, because you can't do these things as a backpacker. So, you know, it's special. You know, it's a real privilege to meet the people you're going to meet and go to the places you're going to go to. So I really want you to love it. If you are one of those people that is going to decide that actually you shouldn't be here and you're just going to be annoying, we will start treating that individual like you're on a school program, and you'll have one written warning, you'll have a verbal warning, and then you'll have a written warning, and then you'll be asked to leave. Okay, because it's boring, and we are clamping down on that because we are. Okay, and you know, maybe we've been burnt recently, but you know, it's all about going there for the right reasons, and those that have the right reasons have the most magical time. Was somebody asking a question? No. Anyway, safety. The other thing with safety is in each place you will be guided by the leaders, okay, as to where to go and where not to go, especially in Santa Teresa. As I said right at the beginning, it's about 1 kilometer long, this town, and like every town, you've got good parts of town, dodgy parts of town. Keep out of the dodgy parts of town, okay, especially late at night. Always, you know, wander around, you know, in groups of 2, 3. Local people know exactly who you are. They know you're part of Chris's team from Jacara. They know that you haven't got a suntan yet, and so the first few weeks you're rich pickings. Okay, they'll see you having, you know, that 3rd beer, and they'll think, right, I've spied that rucksack. They're not noticing. So you've just got to be very, very vigilant in the first couple of weeks while you find your feet, while you get your bearings, while you get your confidence up. So that's that's my health and safety talk over. Okay, that's it. I do hope I don't have to write any of you those emails. So any questions? Any questions?
Do we need the rabies jab? Would you recommend getting the rabies jab or leaving it?
That you don't, it's up to you. Costa Rica say that there is no rabies in Costa Rica, okay? And therefore, if you were bitten by an animal and you were going to, and even though everybody's seen the animal and it's not a rabid dog, okay, if you're still going to freak out, okay, and you're not going to relax otherwise, then get it done. If you are of that mindset that that risk is so low, then, and you would take it in your stride if you were, I mean, trust me, no one's been bitten by a dog in the last, in fact, we've had 1 dog bite in 20 years of running the leap. So the risk is very, very low. But in Costa Rica, there are no rabies jabs. Yeah. So most people don't, but if you are one of those that just wants to dot the I's and cross the T's, then do it. If I was saying you were going to go into the deep darkest Amazon, you know, I would say yes, you are. But you will see in Costa Rica, the hospitals are amazing, the doctors are great, there's pharmacies everywhere, you can get anything you want. It's brilliant. Okay, you're not going off grid. Okay, anything else?
In terms of footwear, will we need like hiking boots or something like that?
Right, Freddie, yes. Do you know? Shoe choice, last group, was a pair of Crocs. I know they're so unstylish, but they are so useful. Crocs, all those plastic Birkenstocks, you know, the plastic ones with the 2 straps, the Arizonas, they're brilliant. Plus a pair of trainers. But I know you all wear trainers to go out in the evening. And this is going to run out, okay? My Zoom call is running out in less than 2 seconds. So take your party trainers, a knackered pair of trainers, and a pair of Birkenstocks or Crocs or flip-flops.
Perfect, okay.
Okay, so call me between now, call any of us in the office between now and the end to help you get organized. And I wish you a fantastic adventure. Goodbye all.
Thank you.
Bye, 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 bye.
Bye.
you.